Can you think of a photo that features Jewish mobsters Meyer Lansky and Bugsy Siegel stood together? Let's check out one potential rare example. I'm James Gladwish and welcome to OC Shorts, bringing you detailed historical snapshots of the American Mafia and other organised crime. Feel free to subscribe if you like that sort of thing. Today, we're going to take a quick look at a rare photo which allegedly contains Meyer Lansky and Bugsy Siegel stood together. History tells us that Jewish gangsters Meyer Lansky and Benjamin Bugsy Siegel rose up together in the New York underworld. The pair were extremely close, and in the 1920s headed a group of Jewish gangsters known as the Bug and Meyer mob. Lansky is often seen as one of the great criminal minds in American Mafia history. His close friend Siegel was known as a greatly feared killer. Former Philadelphia crime family underboss Philip Leonetti remembers meeting Lansky in Miami in the 1970s when he travelled to Florida with his uncle Nicky Scarfo. Leonetti would recall of meeting Meyer Lansky. Meyer told us about how upset he was when Benny got killed, Leonetti said. He really loved Benny, but he said Benny was robbing them guys and he wouldn't listen. He said Benny never liked to listen to the Italians, and that he thought the casino was his, which it wasn't. It was theirs. Benny would only listen to Meyer, and Meyer said he kept him under control the best he could. But when they decided to whack him, there was nothing he could do. It broke his heart when they killed him, but he couldn't stop it. It was business. Then he looked at my uncle and he said, "Benny was a stone killer, Nick. But you know, there's a lot of killers." My uncle just nodded. Despite Meyer Lansky and Benny Siegel's close relationship, there isn't many, if any, confirmed photos of the pair together. However, in this photo of a New York Police Department motorcycle parade, there is a particularly interesting group of spectators. If we zoom in, there is a group of well-dressed men watching the parade. Historians believe that these smartly attired gentlemen were members of organised crime. These men, predominantly Jewish mobsters, is said to include Benjamin Bugsy Siegel and Meyer Lansky. Let's take a closer look. It is speculated that the man standing fourth from the left in the dark hat with his hands in his pockets is none other than Benjamin Bugsy Siegel. Much has been written about Benjamin Siegel, and as previously mentioned, he was considered a vicious killer. But, like many mobsters, he was also a family man. In this footage, we can see Benjamin Bugsy Siegel at his family's home in California, messing around with his kids at the swimming pool. Siegel's time on the West Coast, helping oversee the East Coast mob's operations out there, led to Siegel rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous. As his daughter, Millicent, would recall,
"They dropped in. I really have no clue why Cary Grant was there. I mean, I walked into, I guess you'd call it a family room now, and he called us in, and there he was." He did have a lot of friends from show business, and, you know, they'd be at the house all the time or at the dinner party. We just sort of took it naturally. We never had dinner with it when they had those big parties or anything. We weren't invited, so to speak, but we did see them when they came in, and it was fun. Oh, he was very physically good looking. He had the most gorgeous blue eyes.
Do you have his eyes?
Yeah.
Something else she would have, a starlet godmother.
How did Jean Harlow become your godmother?
Well, she was friends of my father's and mother's, and she used to come to the house, and she had no kids, and she took a liking to me, and she became my godmother.
Back to the parade photo, and fifth from the left, stood next to Siegel, is believed to be Meyer Lansky. Lansky was of course a respected Jewish mobster and a close associate of Charlie Luciano. It was Jewish hitmen associated with Lansky who took out Salvatore Maranzano in 1931 on behalf of Charlie Luciano. This coroner's sketch of Maranzano shows his fatal injuries. Sources indicate that two of the men who killed Maranzano were Samuel Red Levine and Abe Bo Weinberg. Meyer Lansky, often referred to as Charlie Luciano's right-hand man, can be seen with Luciano in this photo when the pair were arrested in Chicago visiting members of the Chicago outfit on April the 19th, 1932. On the far left of the photo is future Chicago boss Paul the Waiter Rieker. I cover the circumstances around this arrest photo in greater detail in a previous video. The link to this is in the comments below. So, who else can be identified in this rare photo of Siegel and Lansky together? Some believe that on the far right is Mike Wassell. Mike Wassell was a Jewish mobster who was allegedly a member of the Bug and Meyer mob. Interestingly, he was a school friend of Lansky's, and the pair had attended PS 34 in Manhattan. Slightly behind the group and second from the left is supposedly Irving Sandler, another alleged Jewish mobster who was a cousin of Meyer Lansky. Third from the left and next to Benny Siegel is allegedly Jake Lansky. Jake Lansky was Meyer Lansky's younger brother. Some sources state that Jake Lansky wasn't as clever as his more famous older brother Meyer, but Jake Lansky was a close lieutenant for Meyer in his operations. Robert Lacey's biography of Meyer Lansky would state of Jake Lansky, "There was no way that Jake Lansky was as sharp as Benny Siegel or Charlie Luciano. Jake had a way of chewing on his cigar," said a friend. "He would beetle up his eyebrows, so you thought there must be a lot going on inside there, when actually it was pretty dead." But Jake Lansky had loyalty to offer. He was one of nature's lieutenants, and he loved his brother. Jake's life revolved around seeing and talking to Meyer every morning. He did not have Meyer's nimbleness with figures, but he learned to run a crap game, to keep an eye out for any cheating by the shooters, or by the banker, who was supposed to be Meyer's man. As stated, in the middle of the group is supposedly Benny Siegel and Meyer Lansky. Next to Lansky, and sixth from the left, is allegedly Vincent Jimmy Blue Eyes Alo. Vincent Alo, an Italian mobster, would eventually become a Genovese crime family captain. He was a close friend of Lansky's, and a very interesting mafia individual who deserves his own dedicated video. Interestingly, the character Johnny Ola in The Godfather Part 2 is believed to have been inspired by Vincent Alo. Ola even being Alo spelt backwards. Much like Meyer Lansky was the inspiration for the character Hyman Roth. The final individual that has allegedly been identified is Irish mobster Eddie McGrath. He is seventh from the left with no hat on, and he stood next to Vincent Alo. Eddie McGrath had a good working relationship with Lansky and Alo, and would go on to become a dominant force in the Irish mob, and a prominent figure on the West Side waterfront. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you agree with the speculation that these are the mobsters in the photo. I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching.